Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you is having a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to a bit of breaking Liverpool news. Of course, it is early in the morning. Normally, of course, we're never live at this time, but it is bank holiday. And what a way to kickstart a bank holiday than Trent Alexander-Arnold confirming he's leaving Liverpool. Look, we knew this was happening, didn't we? Really, we knew it was going to happen at some point. That it was going to get announced, of course, that Trent was leaving Liverpool, and of course, it looks like he's going to go to Real Madrid on a free transfer. And look, it was expected, wasn't it? Let's be perfectly honest. There was nothing breaking around that aspect of it. I think obviously the timing of it, obviously losing to Chelsea yesterday. And of course, I think we probably expected it a bit later on in the season, or maybe even after the season, that it would get confirmed. But yeah, obviously the breaking news is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is leaving Liverpool on a free transfer. It is confirmed by himself, by the club itself as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below, and of course, let me know. Everyone's thoughts and reactions, because judging by social media, it is it isn't the best of places as of things of right now. Anyway, apologies as well. I've just come out of the shower as well to do the show. So again, I apologize if I look like Rudolph at the minute anyway. But I'm disappointed he's leaving, but no transfer fee is so annoying. I think that's the biggest one, John, as well, as the fact that there is no transfer fee for Trent. Supposedly there is a conversation at the minute between Madrid and Liverpool. Apparently there's a £500,000 conversation to release him early from his contract, so then Trent can play for Madrid in the Club World Cup. That's laughable, let's be honest. But yeah, I think on an overall consensus, it's just a horrible feeling, isn't it? In terms of the video that he released, and saying it's the hardest decision that he's had to make, and this, that, and the other. Like, no, it's not, Trent. Like, come on, stop treating the fans like if they're idiots. We know this has been coming for a while. We've known pretty much all season that he's going to go to Real Madrid, and we've known for some time that it's been longer than a season since Trent's made his mind up, as well, which, as Rick said, put there, rat bastard. And I can't lie, I feel the same when it does come to Trent. I've made my thoughts throughout the season very vocal around Trent. I think his legacy that he wanted to leave at the football club, I think that's gone, in my personal opinion. I think Trent will forever be known for that guy that took the corner. I think if he had stayed, he would have cemented his legacy along with Mo Salah, along with Virgil van Dijk. But no, Trent, no, that legacy part is definitely gone in that aspect of things anyway. But we will get on to the Liverpool statement side of things, as you guys can see. But they, of course, them confirming Trent Alexander-Arnold to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. It does go on to say that Trent Alexander-Arnold has informed Liverpool SC of his intention to leave the club this summer upon his expiry of his contract, current contract, I should say. The 26-year-old will bring his 2-decade-long association with the Reds to an end, having made the decision to depart Anfield once his deal ends on the 30th of June 2025. Alexander-Arnold said, "I think first and foremost, I want to say it's not an easy decision, and there's a lot of thought and feelings that has gone into it. I've been here for 20 years now, loved every single minute of it, achieved all my dreams, achieved everything I've ever wanted to hear, given everything day in, day out for 20 years. I've got to a point now where I feel I need a new change, a new challenge for me as a player and as a person. And I think now it's the right time for me to do that." Of course it is, Trent, as well. And of course, obviously, LFC go on to repeat everything that Trent said in that interview. Again, you guys can go and check that out for yourselves. It is on Trent's social media. It is, I think, on Liverpool's social media, I think, as well, at the present moment in time. But in also saying that, and we will quickly switch over to what James Pearce had to say as well. As that's brilliant. Didn't take me to that screen. Anyway, but we will move on and we will talk from, I think, more importantly, James Pearce's article piece that I think is more insightful. As you guys can see that, or hopefully on screen, as the things right now. There we go. So it does go on to say, if I quickly scroll back up, obviously this is from James Pearce, from The Athletic. It says, but they're inside Trent Alexander-Arnold's Liverpool exit, contract frustration, and what he told Slot and why now. As it says, and it does go on to say, that Trent Alexander-Arnold Trent Alexander-Arnold's mind was made up, and he wanted to tell Arne Slot face to face. It was during the March international break when the Liverpool right back, who was recovering from an ankle injury sustained against Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg in the Champions League last 16 tie, went to see the Dutchman in his office at the Kirby training complex. Alexander-Arnold informed Slot that he has decided to leave his boyhood club when his contract expired at the end of the season. He explained how he felt at this stage of his career and that he needed to step out of his comfort zone and pursue a new challenge. Slot expressed his disappointment, but said he respected his vice-captain's decision. You're a huge part of this team, and let's end it on a high together, Slot told him, having be reassured that the head coach still wanted him to feature once he had once he was fit as Liverpool closed in on a Premier League glory. Alexander-Arnold replied, my mindset and commitment won't change. I'll continue to give everything for the club until the final day. Okay. And it does also go on to say, it was around the same time in March that Alexander-Arnold representatives formally notified Liverpool's sporting director Richard Hughes that he wouldn't be signing a new contract at Anfield. There was little sense of surprise at the club, given talks over an extension had effectively ended earlier that month, with Alexander-Arnold then taking some time to reach a final decision. He was determined to keep the news under wraps until the title had been won, to avoid creating any unwanted distraction for the team. Now, 8 days after the wild celebrations at Anfield that followed the 5-1 thrashing of Spurs, there's official confirmation of the exit. Of course, it does go on to say a lot more that we will get into as well, but I want to know your guys' thoughts, because for me the biggest one is, of course, the ratness around it, really. You know, if that's really a saying. I think, because again, I think even in this article piece, it does go on to say that, again, Trent knew for a while that he wanted to, leave Liverpool, because it does go on. I will quickly go back to the article piece now, because it's a very good piece going in depth in terms of what has happened. But I think just the overall consensus of it for me is Trent, this has been coming for a while. It's not the fact that Liverpool have not tried neither. This isn't like where we said at times throughout the season. I've said personally myself that, if certain things wasn't done by certain people, like, Michael Edward, Richard Hughes, then again, we'd have to look more at them, in terms of, what they have done at the football club. Of course, they've re-signed Mo Salah, they've re-signed Virgil van Dijk, and of course, they've tried their hardest to re-sign Trent Alexander-Arnold. And that's not a problem. Personally, that's not what I'm angry at. I'm not angry at the owners. I'm not angry at, the sporting directors. I'm angry towards Trent because of his decision, really. Again, he's known for a while he wanted to leave Liverpool. And it's all down to Madrid. It's all Madrid's good side. He's left on a free, will not cost Real Madrid a transfer fee. Again, the whole contract fees afterwards, and the whole feeling around it is his brother, and his agent is the big talking point around it, because you look at both teams right now. If a normal player comes to Liverpool, you kind of go, you know what, you could kind of see it, but again, we'd much rather you stay at Liverpool. And I think the fact that a Scouser, somebody who, again, like Trent has called it, his boyhood club, and his home. And the fact that he leaves on a free, he leaves to Madrid, who are a rival, they're a European rival. Because look at Liverpool and Real Madrid. Liverpool and Real Madrid are featured in more Champions League finals together than any other team in the last 10 years. Like, that's what's hilarious. The fact we've played two Champions League finals against each other, and Trent knows this as well. And that's, for me, what makes it a lot more harder to take, really, when it does come to Trent. To be fair, and I think, look, when people are calling him in rat, I think that's more than justified when it comes to it as well. But Crocodile Tears says, Doug, absolutely. That video is one that you would record when you leave your boyhood club well into your 30s after cementing your legacy, not at 26 years old in the prime of your footballing life. You'll just be another person. Absolutely. I think it's worse than... It's definitely worse than Owen and McManaman leaving, in my opinion. Michael Owen's actions after he left Real Madrid, that's what, turns Liverpool supporters, obviously leaving to go to Manchester United, and winning a league title with Manchester United as well, and celebrating there. And the fact that at that time when those players left Liverpool, like when Steve McManaman left and when Michael Owen left, Liverpool wasn't competitive. Liverpool weren't fighting for league titles and Champions Leagues. Of course, obviously Liverpool went on to win the Champions League after Michael Owen left, but still, like, was it expected that season that Liverpool gonna go on and win the league, go on and win the Champions League? No, it wasn't. Let's be honest. But now you look at Liverpool now, like in the present day, Liverpool's name is consistently in the conversation of a Premier League title. It's consistently in the Champions League conversation, and that's what's different for me anyway. That's personally what is different. These players came, and Liverpool, again, in the past, have not been competitive. Now Liverpool are at the top of the league, at the top of English football, fighting among the best in Europe. Again, we lost this season in the Champions League, probably going to end up being the Champions League winners in PSG. And yeah, I think that's the bit that's laughable, really. But he'll just be another person who once played for Liverpool. Now it's always was, always will be about the bird on the front, the jersey, and never ever about the name on the back. Yeah, absolutely, Doug. Excuse me. Big up Hero as well, saying, so when I said he outgrew us, looks like that was spot on. Yeah, true. I've got to a point now where I feel like I need a new change, a new challenge for me as a person and as a player and as a person. I think that's just words, if I'm honest. Look, if the reports are true that are coming out right now, that he is going to be getting an absolute ridiculous load, like in terms of money, then yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'm talking we're not talking like 200,000 a week. We're talking, he is going to be getting an absolute crap ton of money, and his brother as well, which again I think is very, very insightful, really. Anyway, but again, just looking at something now, like Liverpool made one last attempt at Alexander-Arnold this month, supposedly, but the player told them that there was no turning back. Apparently Bellingham was key in Trent signing for Madrid. Yeah, of course he was. Friggin' rats, all of them are. Anyway, but we'll get back to the article piece from James Pierce. I think that is interesting as well. We quickly go back to it. Yeah, so there you go. So you guys can see that, hopefully. But I just want to say the summer of 2023 was significant, and it was the first time in his professional career that Alexander-Arnold had entered the final 2 years of his contract. He had previously penned an extension in July 2017 and January 2019 and July 2021, with Liverpool regularly renewing his development and growing importance to the side with improved terms. Having been appointed vice captain by Jurgen Klopp following the departure of James Milner, he had been expected to he had expected Liverpool to open talks before the start of the 23-24 season, but it didn't happen. There was a major upheaval behind the scenes at Anfield. Julian Ward had stepped down as sporting director just a year after succeeding Michael Edwards. Unable to find a suitable long-term successor, Liverpool gave the job to Jörg Schmachter on an interim basis. The German executive was tempted out of retirement after being recommended by Klopp's agent. And of course, as we do scroll down, it says, but Schmachter described himself as Klopp's assistant, as his focus was to negotiate transfer deals for the club, embark on the midfield rebuild. Contract renewals took a back seat. Then in November 2023, the situation was complicated by Klopp informing FSG's president Mike Gordon that he had run out of energy and would be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Once Klopp had announced the news publicly 2 months later, it was clear that everyone would be on hold. Everything would be on hold, until there was clarity, about the decision Liverpool were going in. No player was going to commit without knowing who was taking over and where he stood in the plans. With Gordon keen to take a step back himself, he managed to convince Edwards to return to the fold with a greater responsibility as FSG CEO of football in March 2024. And his first task was to bring in Hughes from Bournemouth as sporting director. Hughes' initial priority was leading the search for Klopp's replacement, with Slot recruited from Vinod. However, Hughes' first call in the job was actually being to Alexander-Arnold's camp to introduce himself in late April last year. Talks over a new contract were identified an opening and offer made before the end of the month. The England international understood the circumstances behind why it happened. Liverpool was so long to come to the table, but as he approached the final year, he privately started wondering whether the 24-25 season could be his last with the club. As the article does go on to say, interest from Real Madrid was already known, and he questioned how strongly Liverpool really wanted to keep him. Those concerns were allayed in the months that followed by the subsequent offers the Hughes made. It would be made that Alexander-Arnold the highest paid fullback in the Premier League, and one of the highest in the world football. But then Alexander-Arnold was already considering the prospect of moving to Spain. Now, what it does go on to say more in the article piece is the fact that Trent supposedly was, again, agreed back to something in 2023. I will quickly try and see where that is in the article piece, but supposedly Trent was already in discussion with Madrid back in 2023, while Jurgen Klopp was still here. And that's the other thing with Trent, where I look at it and go, like, he's gone behind not only Arne Slot's back, in terms of speaking to Madrid and obviously having the whole conversation around, speaking to Madrid this season alone. He's been planning this since even when Jurgen Klopp was the manager. And that's the thing I truly wonder now, and kind of wish it happened, of if Jurgen Klopp was still here, would Trent be doing this? Would Trent be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season? I think he still would. I still think he would. It doesn't matter if Jurgen was still here. I think his mind has been made up for a while to play for Madrid and go along there with Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinny Jr., all these players. I think it's been known for a while now. And look, I don't think anyone would have stopped it, if I'm being honest. Myself, anyway. But big up John as well, saying, hi, Con, thoughts on a new right back and a kind of player would suit us. I don't have a clue. I know people will come out with Fring Pong. I know other people will come out with other things. I'm not too sure myself. I'm not going to lie. I think the right back market is weak at the minute, and Liverpool have now gone and lost the best right back out there. But yeah, that's just my opinion. You think it'll work out for him there, or will it end up back on? No, that's it for Trent, Hero, for Liverpool. Trent will never play for Liverpool ever again. That's easy enough for me to say. He will never ever play for Liverpool ever again at the football club. And will he succeed in Madrid? No, I don't think he will. And that of course, that might be a bit bitterness from me, but I don't think he's going to be forgiven as like he has done at Liverpool. I think we've all said it, and me included in this, and saying that look, Trent is decent at defending. You watch yesterday, by the way. There's a few times where Trent's walking. He's not defending; he's walking. And that's another highlight where I think you look at it. Excuse me, I got bloody hiccups. I think when you look at Trent, I think they're going to play him in midfield. Personally, I think they're going to play him in that Toni Kroos role because they've missed. I say that, mind that's currently under Ancelotti. Who knows what's going to happen when they bring in Xavi Alonso, which of course could be another factor for Trent going to Madrid, because of course Ancelotti is going to be leaving Madrid by the looks of it. He's going to be going to Brazil at the end of the season, and it looks like they're going to bring in it does look like they're going to bring in Xavi Alonso, which again, how is he going to play? Is he going to implement the 3-back formation he has done it at by Leverkusen? Is he gonna go back to a 4? Who knows? But I think Trent, if Ancelotti was staying, I think he would definitely be moved into midfield. I think you'd end up seeing like Valverde at right back for them, and Trent, and obviously Trent and Valverde switch in. But still, I think it's just surprising, isn't it? But it hurts in 2 ways. Liverpool is my first, and Atletico is my second team as well, says Cal. Well, again, hopefully Atletico batter them next season. It's all going to be frustrating. Can't wait for next season. Same. Thing is, Liverpool will move on. We've moved on in the past when players have left, and that's the thing. Like, the club doesn't stop because Trent leaves. Like, Liverpool might even get better because Trent's leaving. We talk about how, yes, Trent creatively, that's not a word. Creatively offers Liverpool that extra element. But who knows now? Liverpool might actually get better because of it, because defensively we could end up signing a more solid defensive right back. And who knows? Because now you kind of have to, the players you want to sign, you now have to make up in the aggregate, in terms of long balls, in terms of, other bits and pieces that Trent were doing. Like, for example, like Dean Huijsen, for example. Dean Huijsen, when you compare it to, Ibu Konate, for example, on that right-hand side, he, when we talk about long balls, in behind, Ibu doesn't necessarily do that. When you look at Huijsen's stats, he does it quite a lot. Whether or not Liverpool, that's something Liverpool look at. But even still, now, Conor Bradley's the number 1 right back now for Liverpool moving forward. And who knows? Liverpool clearly have to sign a backup. Of course, obviously Joe Gomez is there at the minute, who could easily play right back for Liverpool. But I think we'll end up signing a replacement. We will end up, whether or not that's going to be someone to rival Conor Bradley straight away, or somebody who is going to progress into something over the next couple of years. You never know, really, anyway. But I think it'll be interesting. 100% it will be interesting. And again, I can't wait for next season. I can't wait for Liverpool to retain the Premier League, and of course, hopefully go again next season and win, hopefully number 21. That's the hope for next season. And of course, for Trent, I hope he gets battered every single week by Lamine Yamal. That's the hope and dream. Anyway, but or Lamine Yamal or Rafinha. Anyway, you ever see us moving to a back three? Might be the time now. No, Slot's never done it. Apart from, was it Fulham at home? I think that was the first time ever he's played three at the back. But yeah, no, I don't see us in transition. In terms of us, in game, yeah, sure, absolutely. Like we kind of do that now, with Trent inverting or Connor Bradley pushing up. You've got Ibu, Virgil, Robbo, kind of in that, that three. We kind of do it now, but in terms of like, if you put it on paper, what Liverpool do, then no, I don't think Liverpool will ever be a back three, because again, you've got very good talent there in terms of like I said, Conor Bradley on the right. Liverpool will sign a backup, and it will be interesting as well. Though I don't know whether or not we will sign a fully developed player, but again, depends on what Slot wants. Because there's conversation of the plenty of like wonder kids going around. At that right back, as a Reed from Vinord. His name's been mentioned. Martin Fernandez as well from Porto. We know how Liverpool have operated in the Portuguese league before. Whether or not we go after somebody like that who would be cheap and has the potential to be good in the future. Again, you never know. Or Liverpool might go all in and go and buy like a I don't know, like a Constance. Is it Constance from Juventus, I think, or I think that's his name anyway. But again, the right back left back from Juve, that might be an option as well potentially. Anyway, but look, I am going to leave it there for this morning, guys. Hopefully, again, you guys having a good morning. Anyway, we will be back throughout the day. Like I said, we'll be live tonight, probably more talking about Trent, talking about other things as well. But obviously the breaking news, and of course I thought we had to do a video on this bank holiday Monday, of course, was talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, because nobody's in work, which is kind of good for this aspect of things. Anyway, but look, like I said, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. Very intrigued to know all of your guys' thoughts down below. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Trent announcing he is leaving Liverpool as well. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, we'll be live throughout the day. Anyway, Fresh Prince of Madrid, Jesus. But I will be there celebrating on Trent's downfall in Madrid anyway. But look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your mornings anyway. And yeah, I'll see you guys later on for another episode anyway. But until next time, that's going to be it from me. I'm Connor from the COP Council. I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.